It was supposed to be an ordinary Sunday in small-town Arkansas. 15-year-old Cassie Compton had just come home from a demolition derby. Loud, chaotic, the kind of small-town thrill that leaves your ears ringing. She walked in, said a quick hello, mentioned she was stepping out for a bit, and then she disappeared. She didn't take a bag. She didn't say goodbye. She walked out the door and was never seen again. And in the silence she left behind, a mystery began. One that would haunt her family, consume her town, and eventually explode into the national spotlight thanks to a 15-second TikTok video that no one could explain. When Cassie didn't come home and couldn't be reached, her mother reported her missing. It was the beginning of a case that would frustrate investigators for years. Cassie had left behind her phone and her personal belongings. There was no sign of a struggle, no witnesses who saw her leave the area. The investigation began immediately. The Stuttgart Police Department, joined by the Arkansas State Police, interviewed friends, searched nearby properties, and followed early leads. Cassie's face appeared on missing persons databases and flyers across the state. Police combed the area, flyers flooded the town. Her face stared back from gas station windows and telephone poles. But it was like she had stepped into a shadow, and the world had moved on. No witnesses, no evidence, no answers. The last person to see Cassie was Brandon Rhodes, her mother's fiancé. He was questioned but never charged. Rumors swirled, doubt crept in. But facts? Nothing held. Weeks turned to months, months into years. And the case that once had everyone talking fell silent. It looked like nothing at first. Just a few seconds of shaky video. A girl in the back seat, quiet, still. A shadow blooming across her face. Then it spread. TikTok lit up with questions. Two men spoke in the front seat, laughing, relaxed. But the girl behind them, she never said a word, never even blinked. And that silence was louder than anything else. Nothing about the video felt normal. It was the kind of clip that made your stomach twist before your brain even caught up. The kind you replay, trying to convince yourself you didn't see what you saw. Something was wrong. Deeply wrong. And millions felt it. And quickly, people started making connections. The girl in the video, blackened eyes, blank stare, looked just like Cassie. The internet exploded. Side-by-side comparisons flooded TikTok, Reddit, YouTube. Was it really her? People analyzed everything: eye shape, jawline, voice inflection. Some even slowed the clip down to examine every blink, every twitch. A laminated menu spotted behind her sparked a frenzied search for the diner's location. Was she in California? Arizona? Hope caught fire. For the first time in years, there was movement in Cassie's case. The FBI got involved, so did local law enforcement. And then, she came forward. Her name was Haley Grace Phillips. She wasn't missing, and she wasn't Cassie, just a stranger caught in a storm that was never hers. She had been assaulted during a robbery. The bruises were real, but the rest, kidnapping, trafficking, any connection to Cassie wasn't. Just a cruel coincidence and a face that mirrored a ghost. In moments, a nation's hope collapsed. For investigators, the case seemed to reach a resolution. The video had nothing to do with Cassie, and for most people, that was the end of it. But even after Haley Grace Phillips was publicly identified, the unease lingered. Her name had been cleared, her story explained, and yet, something didn't sit right. Haley's sudden thrust into viral attention should have closed the chapter. Instead, it cracked open new questions, ones no one wanted to ask but couldn't ignore. In a series of live streams following her identification, Haley appeared fragile, disoriented, at times barely coherent. She insisted she was fine, but her voice trembled, her gaze drifted, and viewers were left with a sick feeling they couldn't quite name. Then she vanished, digitally. Her Instagram was wiped clean, her posts were gone. In their place, strange videos appeared, posted by a man claiming to be someone else entirely. He didn't address Haley. He didn't explain. The videos felt out of place, erratic, cryptic, like a glitch in a feed that shouldn't exist. And then, silence. The account went dark. For Cassie's family, it was a cruel echo. Another girl gone, another mystery unresolved. And while authorities had every reason to close the file on the TikTok video, the internet wasn't done watching. because the video didn't just remind people of Cassie, it reminded them of how easily girls disappear and how often we look away. Despite the concerns raised by viewers, law enforcement closed the matter. Haley had been identified, she had spoken publicly, and there was no legal basis to pursue the situation further. For Cassie Compton's family, the brief moment of national attention reopened an old wound. After years of silence, strangers were speaking her name again. There was renewed interest, renewed hope, but it didn't last. Haley wasn't Cassie. And Cassie still hadn't come home. Cassie's mother, Judy, never stopped waiting. Even when the flyers faded, even when the cameras stopped showing up, even when the internet moved on. In one of her few public interviews, she said quietly, "If she's out there, I just want to know she's okay. I want her to know she can come home." It wasn't a soundbite, it wasn't polished. It was a mother's voice, breaking under years of silence. Since Cassie vanished, no arrests have been made, no verified sightings, no new leads. Just questions. And a bedroom no one's had the heart to clean out. Her case remains open, her story unfinished. The TikTok video wasn't the clue they needed, but it did something else. It brought Cassie's name back into the light. It reminded people that missing doesn't mean forgotten, and that behind every face in a database is a life that mattered. These stories don't end when the headlines fade. They end when the truth is spoken. She may be gone, but her story isn't. Not to the people who loved her, not to those who still wonder. Somewhere out there, someone knows the truth. And one day, that truth has to come out. Because the truth doesn't fade, it waits, and eventually, it finds a voice. This is Grim Vault, where we don't just tell stories, we remember the ones the world forgot. Real lives, real loss, and the silence left behind. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time in the dark.